You're listening to Good Morning Gwinnett, a division of Noise Media Network, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, sharing stories about people and places around beautiful Gwinnett County and beyond. Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Southern living at its best.
Good morning, all my Gwinnetians out there in Gwinnett land and all of my friends around the world. It's a beautiful day here in Gwinnett County, 81 degrees, going up to a high of 91, so it's going to be a scorcher. It is going to be hot. I spent the weekend in Mississippi, my first time going to Mississippi, so I was okay, so if you grew up north, you know what I'm saying when I say this. M-I, kukaletta, I, kukaletta, I, humpback, I. So, and when I grew up in Jersey, so even though I was born in Georgia, I grew up in Jersey. So we used to do this thing called, when we spell Mississippi, so that's how we would spell Mississippi. M-I, kukaletta, I, kukaletta, I, humpback, I. Have no idea why we did that, but that was something, when you say spell Mississippi, that's how everybody would spell Mississippi. So anyway, that's not how you spell Mississippi, y'all. It's M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I. That's how you spell Mississippi. But we spelled it M-I kukaletta, I, humpback, I. Have no idea where that came from. So that was something we used to do when I was a kid. But anyway, I had the opportunity to visit Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi to be specific, and it was a great day. So my nephew got engaged. It's so funny too, because every time, so he's a college football coach, and every time he comes home, we get together for a minute because he's always running around. He's never in like one place for very long because he travels with the football team, and then when he comes to Georgia, he's either scouting for somebody or he's dropping in for a brief hello and he's out again. So he's never in one place at one time. So he and his girlfriend have been together since they were in college, and I want to say that's between 8 and 10 years they've been together, and she's been right by his side all that time. So I said, every time I see him, I always say, we talk for a few minutes, and after we get ready to get finished talking, this is what I do, because I know he's going to say something. I always go like this: let me ask you something, right? And as soon as I said it, well, oh my God, auntie, oh my God, and I just bust out and start laughing because he knows what I'm about to say. And before I can even get it out my mouth, he's like, oh my God, auntie. So I said to him, when he did the proposal, she didn't know he was proposing. And we all went to Mississippi. My husband, my daughter, the baby, and my brother and the kids, his kids and his wife, which is my nephew's parents. We all went to Mississippi for the engagement. And, I said to him, well, I guess I don't have to say, you don't have to say, let me ask you something. When you gonna marry Lizzie? Because her name is Elizabeth, and I call her Lizzie B. When you gonna marry Lizzie B? And I don't have to say that. So, well, I don't have to ask when you gonna marry Lizzie B no more, because now you engaged, and so I'm so excited for them. And I said to him, listen, I don't care what happens. Communication is everything. To me, that's everything. Like, if you could communicate, you can. Even if you can't fix the problem, you can try to come up with solutions to fix any problem. If you got a person that won't communicate with you, nothing is going to ever get solved. I don't care what it is, because they can't communicate. If they don't know how to communicate, you will always struggle in that relationship, because the communication is not there. And when there's a problem, you have to be able to communicate to try to work the problem out. What winds up happening is, if you got one person that can communicate and one person who don't know how to communicate very well, the one person that can't communicate is always going to feel extremely alone, because they're trying to solve everything by themselves. And that becomes very frustrating, and it makes them resentful, because it's like, I'm in this relationship by myself. Like, I can't come to you for anything. I can't come to you for, no wisdom about anything, because we don't communicate well together. And I'm telling you, I say this all the time, communication. I tell this to my daughter too. I said, listen, you can be in love. You can love someone to death, but not be in love with them. And you can easily fall out of love with somebody if they can't communicate. Easily. And I say to her, no matter how cute he is or how sexy you think you are, if you guys can't communicate, all of that stuff is going to fade away. It is going to fade away. And I'm telling you what I know for a fact. It will fade away. And if you talk to anybody who has been married for a number of years, the people that communicate well, they have good marriages most of the time. Right? Because they have issues that they can talk through. And if they can't talk through it, they can talk to each other about, listen, let's go get some help to help us talk through it, right? But when you got people that don't know how to communicate at all, and you are the person that is the one that's always trying to communicate and get the answers, you got to pull answers, pull questions. It's frustrating. It's not sexy. And all of that goes, I don't care how beautiful you are. And I tell her that all the time. I was like, look, I said, he may be fine and you may be fine. But if y'all can't communicate, fine don't mean a thing. He may go to work every day, right? And you may go to work every day. But when there's a problem and you can't communicate it, none of that stuff matters. I'm telling you what I know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because if there's a problem, you can't just brush it under the rug and expect it to go away. It doesn't go away. And what that does is make the other person extremely turned off and resentful. So that's always my wisdom. Like, talk. If you can talk, you can figure it out. If you can't talk, you're going to be miserable. And I hate to say that. And I know people listen to me saying that's not true. It is true. If you're saying it's not true, that's because you have a partner that you can communicate with. Or you are a strong problem solver and you say, no way, I'm going to solve the problem. But I guarantee you, you don't feel that person ain't sexy to you. If you're the ones that's always solving the problems, right? You got to think of everything. You may love them. You may love them for life. But there's nothing about them that says sexy. I don't care what y'all say. I've been in relationships before, and I'm telling you that is not sexy. And I don't care if you are a great provider, but if one person is making all the decisions, they got to think of everything. That's not sexy, and that's a turn off. Now, if you got that person that just want to be in charge of everything and bossy, maybe so. But if you got a person who wants to be with a partner, and it's funny because most people want to have a partner. You know, if they want to be solo and do everything by themselves, they would be solo. Most people they think they get married because this is a part. My brother told me when he got married, he said, listen, marriage he got married before me. He's younger than me, but he got married before me. And I had said, I was like, I probably won't get married because by the time I think I was 33, when I turned 30, I cried like a baby. By the time I was 33, it was like, forget about it. And I think I got married at 36. Right. And I thought I would never get married. But my brother said to me, marriage is a partnership. Right. And he used to date these really, really pretty girls. His wife is attractive. But there was this one girl that I just thought she was beautiful. And he dated her. And I thought he was going to marry her. He didn't marry her. And I said to him, why you didn't marry that one? You know, why? Like, what made you not marry? He's like, listen, I need somebody that can order off of a menu. I thought that was the funniest thing ever. Back then, it didn't make sense back then, but now it makes a whole lot of sense. He's like, I need somebody that can look at a menu and order off the menu. And I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm thinking, who the heck don't know how to order off of a menu? Well, there are people who can look at the menu and have no clue how to order off of a menu. That was one of the first things he said to me, and I thought that was hilarious, and it didn't make sense at the time, but as time went on, I was like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. He said they need to be able to order off a menu, and they need to have some sense, and it's a partnership. It's like a business partnership, and he said that to me, and I said, okay, still at that point when he said it, had no clue what he meant, right? But later on in life, I understood, like, because he was married, I was still dating while he was married. So I got a chance to kind of date some people like, don't see this being a partnership. You know, don't see that one as being a partnership. So then I stopped dating altogether. Like, I'm not dating because I got engaged twice before I got married. So my marriage was my third engagement. And this show is not about relationships. It is about email marketing. But I just got to tell y'all the story. And then I'll start the show about email marketing. For those of you saying this is a lot of fluff, I'm sorry. I'm just so excited for my nephew, and I want to see him and his future bride, his future wife, thrive and be successful. So anytime I can, and I don't talk about relationships a lot because it's draining. It's draining because it's so many different personalities in the world, and there's so many different ways to do things in a relationship. I just believe that the fundamental things in a relationship is to be able to be respectful, to be able to trust that person, and be able to communicate. Those are the things communication is at the top of my list. I'm telling you, because if you can't do that, it's gonna be hard. It really is. It's gonna be a hard ride for you, and you're gonna find yourself just going in circles because your partner is not a communicative person, and you have to figure out everything. Like, You know what I mean? Like, you have to figure out everything, and that could become extremely draining, and that could put a lot of pressure on the relationship. And, you know, the other person is wondering, like, well, what's wrong with the relationship? Well, we don't communicate. So it's strained. So our relationship is strained because only one of us communicates. And so I said that to him. So he called me. He was on his way to New Orleans after we were on our way back to Georgia. And so what you doing? He said, I'm on my way to New Orleans. We're going to hang out for a little while. And I said, he was on the way to the coast of Mississippi, then to New Orleans. And I said, I got one piece of advice, and this is the one piece that I stick by. Be able to communicate no matter what. I don't care what happens, communicate. All right, I'm going to get off of that, but I'm so excited for him. So congratulations, Trey and Liz. I wish you guys nothing but much love, much happiness, much peace, and beautiful children, and a wonderful family. All right. So today's episode, I know I just spent like 13 minutes talking about relationships. I should have been on my friend Lamar Clark show. People Think About It. Like, that's where they talk about relationships at, on People Think About It. So check it out, peoplethinkaboutit.com. That's my friend Lamar show. He and his wife, and they host a show called People Think About It. And it comes on every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So go to peoplethinkaboutit.com. They talk about relationships, all kinds of stuff. I don't normally talk about relationship on this show. I'm talking about business and news and technology. They talk about relationships. But today I just had to talk about that because it's my nephew. He just got engaged. And I love him so much. He's just the best. You know, he always checks on me, and we text each other and we laugh because he likes to laugh. So we're always texting funny stuff back and forth from Instagram. So anyway, I digress. So today's episode is about email marketing. So this ties into my story. So when we went to Mississippi, he sent us a link and he said, stay at the Westin in Jackson, Mississippi. So I said, okay. So, you know, we looked at it, was like, oh, that's a little bit pricey, but okay, we're going to stay at the Westin. So we stayed at the Westin. And so the Westin, when we got there, they didn't have any parking. They were like, well, you could park on the street at your own risk. We was like, well, who wants to park on the street? So that sounded pretty terrible. And maybe that was the whole reason for saying it, because it was pretty terrible, and for you to be fearful and go into that parking lot, right? Which is valet parking. You know, $29 a day. I'm like, what? So we stayed at the Westin. Parking was for guests. So we were guests at the Westin, and parking was $29 a day. All right. So we was like, okay, we don't like that. Then we get inside, and we get to the desk, and my husband was like, do they have like a continental breakfast or something? They had no free breakfast, so that was nope. So the room was, to me, was a little bit expensive. No free breakfast. So scratch that off your list. All right. So now we got no parking, no free breakfast. And then we get to the desk. Now this is what, but the parking, okay. The breakfast, okay. But this is what got me, because I took my laptop and my tablet. We don't have free internet. I'm looking around like, say what? Excuse me? We don't have free internet. Are you kidding me? Okay, so I've never gone to a hotel that did not have free internet. Never. So I'm just saying, I've never done that. I'm like, what hotel does not have free internet? Did not have free. I said, well, how much is internet? $9.95 a day. And I said, oh, now I need my tablet to be internet. I could have hooked up to my hotspot, now that I think about it. But I needed my tablet to run fast. And I was my computer, my laptop. I was like, $9.95. So you got no free parking, no free breakfast, no free internet. Right. I was like, no free internet, right? However, if you sign up for our rewards program, which is called Bunboy, right? So Westin is a Marriott hotel, right? If you sign up for Bunboy, we will waive the internet charges. Oh, okay. Okay. Now, I don't like the fact that I don't have free parking and free breakfast and free internet. However, I understand why. So Marriott, this is what Marriott did that I thought was, when you think of it from a business perspective, it's pretty smart. They built the hotel in a place that did not have parking. Now, it could be free parking, but you could park on the street because there were parking meters. But now somebody got to make sure the meter is fed so you don't get a ticket or towed, right? So if you go to sleep or you stay down in there, and they do have a beautiful hotel. Westin is beautiful. If you stay down in the bar drinking too much and you forget to go and feed the meter, you're going to get a ticket or be towed. All right. So instead of them having a parking lot for their guests to park in, you have to pay to park. Now, we saw people coming into the hotel just for the restaurant and the bar. They didn't park across it. They didn't do valet. They walked from around the corner somewhere. We didn't know that, but we weren't going to do that. So we valet parked. Anyway, so they're forcing you to pay them the $28 a day if you don't want to park on the street and run the risk of being towed or ticketed. All right. So that was a force. So that's a forced stream of revenue to the bottom line. Right. So they give you, there's pain up front because like, I don't want nothing to happen to my car. So I might as well pay this $29 a day. It's like $28 and like some change. So I say $29. I might as well pay this $29 to park. Because I don't want anything to happen to my car, and I don't want a ticket because the ticket is gonna be way more than a $29. If I get told, that's worse. All right, so let me pay this $29 a day and parking this lot, and they're responsible for my car. All right, forced revenue to the bottom line. Email marketing. Here we go. When you sign up for our rewards program, which you have to go in there and give them your name, your phone number, and your email. Now you're on their email list. Guess what they can do now? They can market to you over and over and over and over again. I was like, So they've come up with a way for them to build a huge email list. Can you imagine how many people visit Marriott hotels around the world? Can you imagine what their email list must look like? Like, just think about that for a second. And you're forced to put your name on the email list if you don't want to pay $9.95 a day for internet. You're forced. Now you can say, you know what, screw it, I'll pay the $9.95. I'm not filling out anything. And some people may say that. But most of us, like, I'm not paying for internet, it's free. Okay, you want my email? Now here's the thing. You could have gave them a bogus email address. They just needed you to have an email address. But the email address had to be the one that was on file for your reservations. So, of course, I signed up for the bun boy, whatever, so they can waive that. But I thought that was pretty cool. So that was how I got to the point of talking about email marketing like Marriott today, because I felt like that was smart. And a lot of times, not even myself, we don't do that. We don't force people to get on our list. We ask them because that's what you want to do. You want to ask permission, right? They didn't. I mean, I could have paid the $9.95 a day, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to pay $20 for internet. Like, why would I do that? So I didn't want to do that. So I joined the Boy and Void list. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about email marketing. But before I do that, I'm going to go to a song. And then I'm going to come back. And this is one of my songs. So, I'm using my own music. So I don't run into like copyright strikes and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to play a song. It's called Transformers or Tomorrow. Check it out. I'll be right back after this. And we can talk more about email marketing and what you need to be thinking about for your email marketing campaign. So stay tuned.
In a world of vibrant hues, children learn as they walk in shoes, not their own, to see the view of a life in another's truth. Teach them love, teach them right. Under stars, we're all the same light. Raise them high, a future bright. Transformers of tomorrow's fight. In their hands, the world's anew, where every color blends into a masterpiece of love and rights. Transformers shining through the night. From every corner, every creed, building bridges in what they believe. Respecting all, embracing peace. In their unity, our hope released. Show them strength, show them grace. In their smiles, the world's embrace. Raise them high, a future bright. Transformers of tomorrow's fight. In their hands, the world's anew, where every color blends into a masterpiece of love and rights. Transformers shining through the night. Fractured corners, let them bend back together, hearts entwined. In their love, the world defined. They'll stand guard for all to see, protectors of our destiny. Against the tide of hate and fear, their voices loud, their mission clear. Raise them high, our future bright. Transformers like tomorrow's fight. In their hands, the world anew, where every color blends into love that rise. Transformers shining through the night. With open hearts, they'll pave the way for a world where love will stay. Hand in hand, they'll write the story. Transformers in their full glory.
Welcome back. Transformers of Tomorrow. Yes, that's what it is. Transformers of Tomorrow. It's your girl Audrey Bell Kearney. Today we're talking about email marketing, and I got this idea for this episode today because I was at my nephew's engagement. He got engaged over the weekend, and we stayed at the Westin by Marriott, and so they wanted to charge us $9.95 a day for internet. And I'm like, I've never gone to a hotel, and I've been at some really, really nice hotels, and I didn't have to pay for the internet. And so I'm like, I gotta pay for internet. So what I realized was that was a good way for people to get on the Westin's and Marriott's email marketing list, right? Because they want your email so they can market to you over and over again. So think about this for a second, right? And I may have talked about this a little bit in a segment when I talked about newsletters, because to me, right now, when I look at everything that's happening, even I'm talking about everything, it's crazy. Like, you really, in my mind, you really have to own your own media. You just do. And you have to build your own platform. And I know that social media is a great place and they're doing, wonderful things. But when I look at how media is changing and how the creators who are creating all this content for all these platforms, they don't get that money. They may get pennies, if anything at all. Like, even with me, like the platform that I'm hosting my platform on, I make money off of it, but it's nothing compared to the amount of money that they make. So they give me pennies and they make billions of dollars off of what we do, because we're producing all this content and we put it on their platform. So when I think about, it from a business perspective and email marketing, email newsletters, and local newsletters and podcasts and all these things, for me, it makes sense for you to build your own platform. It just really does. Like, if you're relying on these other platforms to make you money, yes, they are making some people money, but I watch this stuff all the time. They're changing. They're changing how they do things. They're changing how you make money. They control everything. I told you all the time, like, I put out so much content, and every time I get my blog, which is my news site, to the way I want it to be, soon as I get it to the way I want it to be, Google changes something. So if Google is always changing things, how does that help me? It doesn't help me if they're changing things. I fix one thing, now they change it to something else. Now it's out of whack again, so it's not helping. So email newsletters for me, along with all this other stuff, is just one of the blessed places to be. Now, is it going to take work? Yes, it is. But I want to talk a little bit about why that's important. So back in the day, it was called email marketing. We had email newsletters. Your email newsletter can be an email marketing letter. It can be whatever you want it to be. Here's the important part about that whole thing is that you own the list. You own the eyeball. So when Marriott say, listen, you can stay at our hotel, the Westin, it's beautiful. Got a beautiful restaurant, got live jazz playing, got a heated pool, indoor heated pool. It was a nice it was a nice experience. I'm not saying it wasn't. But if you want to use our internet, it's $9.95 a day. Or we could just waive that, right? You could just waive that, and we could and get on our email list, and we're good, right? Now, that cost them the cost of acquisition to get me on their email list right now was almost $20, right? That's what it cost them. Because if they had to buy my name, it probably would have been a little bit more, because they had to do the research to find out what kind of hotels I stay and all that kind of stuff. But because I'm in their establishment and I want to use their service, you can use it for free, but I need your email name. You guys, you've seen that before. You went online, you see something, they say, hey, we got this great ebook for you to help whatever get better. put your name in here and get it instantly. We put our name in there and we get this ebook, we get this fitness plan, we get whatever because it's free. They did the exact same thing. So it made sense that, okay, this is what they're doing now. I want to talk to you about how you can do the same thing. And here's why you want to think about email marketing, right? Here's why you want to think about building your email list. I wish someone had told me this years ago when I had an email list that I was building. I probably would have 500,000 names on, because I started doing it when nobody was really doing it. Like, I remember ditching my email list. I had over 3,000 names on it when nobody was really doing it. But I'm always the first out the gate. And then I get caught up in it being tired. Here's why you want to think about building an email list. One, it's very cost effective. Now, I have 2 platforms that I use, and I'm about to cancel one because they're talking about going up on the price. They done went up one time. Now they're going up again. I don't like that. I don't like all that moving around. Stick to a price. They're going up again. I'm going to change it if they go up. But one, it's cost effective, right? So to run both of my email platforms, I have thousands of names on one and I have hundreds of names on the other one. One I pay $39 for, that's for my email newsletter. Like, it is an email newsletter platform built just for email newsletter publishers, right? I love that platform. I love it because it allows me to do things in that newsletter that's specifically because that's a newsletter business kind of platform. And then I use another platform for the GWC, which is the Gwinnett Women's Chamber of Commerce newsletter that goes out every Monday. So it's really just informational about what's happening with the chamber. So I use that one. So between the two, I spend $60 almost, right? Which I think is a good thing. And between the list, I have thousands of names, right? Probably close to 4,000. To me, that's great. And I have room to grow on both of them. Like, I haven't even reached, like, I think on one platform, I can get up to 10,000 names and stay at the same fee. And on the other platform is about the same. So for me, that makes sense. Now, it's very cost effective, right? It's also a direct communication with the people you're trying to talk to. See, the problem about these other platforms that I'm on, and I'm on plenty. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Spreaker, I'm on Apple. I don't know who I'm talking to. Like, this message is going out over the airwaves. I don't know who's listening. You know why? Because I don't have access to that data. I don't have emails. I don't have names. I have none of that stuff. The people that own these platforms, they have all of that. They have the data. They know who's watching. They know who's listening. They know how long they stayed. Now, they do have analytics to show you some data, right? But you don't have emails. There's no direct communication with them via email because you don't have that. Unless you say, hey, subscribe to my email newsletter by going to GwinnettMorningspark.com, and they actually go there and do that, then there's access. But until they do that, you have no direct communication with them. Email marketing changes that. You build an email list, you have direct communication. If you want to put out an email at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because it's something you just need to get out to your list right now, you do that. If I want to do that on podcasting, I can get up here and do it, but I don't know who's listening. I don't know if the person that listened to me yesterday is listening to me today. I don't know that because I can't see the email. I can't see the data for that. You control the data. You have direct communication with that person on the other end of your media, right? That's really important. Also, you get to measure the results even better. Like, the platforms give you some analytics. They do. But they don't give you the most important, that email and that name. You're not getting that. Go to Amazon all day long, sell as many books as you want to, as many books as possibly humanly possible. But guess what you will not get from that buyer? A name, an address, a telephone number, or an email. You're not going to get any of that. Amazon has it all. Now, you can put it in the book and say, hey, if you love this book, subscribe to GwinnettMorningspark.com. And that's my newsletter, by the way. GwinnettMorningspark.com. You can say that, but now they have to open up the book. They have to read that, and they have to actually get up, close the book, go to the phone or go to the computer and actually sign up for the newsletter. Right? That's the only way you're going to get that name from Amazon. Amazon is not going to say, hey, Audrey, we appreciate you making you and us both some money. I want to share this email name with you. Not only that, there's a privacy clause in there. Like, we agree not to sell your information. That's a privacy clause in there. So they're not going to do that either because now they're breaking the rules. So you can measure results. It's cost effective. It's a direct communication. And guess what? I've heard people say this all the time. I saw this guy talking about this on YouTube the other day. He was saying how, and it was crazy because I was like, man, I missed another opportunity. However, I heard him very loud and clear. He said he makes over $100,000 a year on YouTube, and he has a very small subscriber base. I think it was like 400 or 500. It was something. It was under 1,000. And I'm like, how? Well, he used it as a marketing platform, right, to grow his email list. And then what he does is he put little messages in there for the people that sign up his email list. And then he goes in there and then he starts to sell them on his program. He was a fitness trainer. He started to sell them on his program. But now they've watched his video. They've gotten his newsletter. They know a little bit more about him. They see his style. They like his tone. They like what he's doing. Now it's time for them to actually go in and sign up for the program. I was like, okay. But people have been doing this for years because they figured it out before I did. That an email newsletter is powerful. But you have to put out good content, consistent content. Now, I got to tell you, that's where I struggle. Because I want to do things my way. And I have to stop doing that because my way is not always the best way. And I'm the first to tell you that. I want to do a newsletter that's just good news. That's what I'm doing. But I need to sell some stuff too. Right? So that may not be the newsletter for me to sell certain things. And so what I do in that newsletter, I have an Amazon link inside the newsletter to a money book, because I do talk about, there's a section in my newsletter called Your Money Compass, right? And it talks about money stuff. So with that being said, there is a book that I've highlighted inside the newsletter. So if anybody want to be better with money, they can click that and go to Amazon and buy. I've also, inside my newsletter, I give like a fun fact about Gwinnett County, right? And there's a book that someone wrote about that. So if it's not in my newsletter, you can actually click on that book and go to Amazon and buy it. Now, what happens is I make a few pennies on that. I won't make a lot, but I'll make something. And I like Amazon because Amazon is consistent with my payments. Every month my money comes. It comes in a bunch of different payments. I have no idea why. I can't even find out where they come from. Like I went to my Amazon account, like, okay, I need to know where these because the biggest payment, I want to know where that one is coming from so I can do more of that so my payments can get bigger. Couldn't find it. I was like, okay, I give up. I can't find it. And I probably could have just reached out like, look, where's my money coming from? I see 7 payments coming in, but where are they coming from? Like, what was it? A book sale? Was it a subscriber to the channel? I don't know what it was. Because I can't see it. Because again, Amazon owns all the data. So I'm like, I don't see it. I know that I made some sales. I don't know what. Anyway, I digress again. So inside of my newsletter, I have ways for people to advertise. So that's in there. They can pay for advertisement. I have affiliate links back to Amazon. I also have links to my YouTube channel for them to listen to my new song of the day. So that can help me grow my channel. Because if they click through and subscribe to the channel, now that's going to start to grow. I have linked to this podcast so they can go back and listen to an episode. They can listen to the 10 o'clock episode every day. So I have links inside of the newsletter. So even though I'm talking about news and, inspiration in the newsletter, there are links all over the newsletter so that they can click on stuff and move around like they need to. That is important. That can increase your return on investment so much. So that's $60 for that platform. I spend $39. So that $39 that I spend every month is worth every penny because it gives me direct communication with my people. And now all I got to do is keep growing it. So I get to, 10, 20, 30,000 people. That's when the brands come knocking. See, Marriott is a brand by itself. Westin is a brand under the Marriott umbrella. So they don't need to for brands to knock. They are a brand. However, they leverage their brand to build these lists so they can market to people over and over and remind them why they like the Westin, remind them why they like the Marriott, give away some free stuff. And that's exciting for people, right? So I didn't mind joining them. I didn't mind because I thought I was a member of Bonvoy already. I could have sworn I was a member, but obviously I wasn't. Now I'm a member, so I'm sure I'm going to have so many Bonvoy emails. It's probably ridiculous, but it's okay because I want to know what's out there, right? When I travel, I like Marriott as a hotel. I've always said that. I don't like that thing that you can't park. I hate that. And okay, now you got my email, so now I ain't got to worry about the internet because I'm on the Bonvoy list. So I like that. And I like Marriott. I like the beds. They sleep well, all of that. I could tell the difference when I came home last night. Like, yeah, this ain't a Marriott bed right here. I like Marriott beds so much I actually looked and see what like covers they use, what pillows they have, what mattresses. That's how much I like the beds. Like that has been a wonderful sleeping experience for me. Anyway, so your email newsletter would serve you so much better. I'm not telling you not to do a podcast. I'm not telling you not to do videos. I'm not telling you any of that. What I am telling you is add your newsletter in there, right? Add your newsletter in there, because when you add your newsletter in there, it gives you control over the people that are interested in what you do. Those, you can use these platforms like your podcast, your videos, and your blog to drive traffic to the email newsletter. Like if you go to Good Morning Gwinnett right now, there's a link to say subscribe to the newsletter right there. So I cross market. When I do my videos, right, inside of the description, there is a link to everything. The Good Morning Gwinnett. It's a link to all my websites. Everything is in that description, because I want you to subscribe to the newsletter. I want you to subscribe to the podcast. This is a media company. I own a media company. So I do a lot of media, right? But I'm not telling you to do all those things. I'm just saying that think about, how email marketing can help you. Think about this for a second. Let's say, for instance, you were a fashion designer, right? And you had a new fall line coming out, because fall is coming, and all the new fall stuff is coming out right now in July. I know it's still hot. You thinking fall? Yes, everything for the fall is probably already out or it's about to come out. You have a new fall line coming out and you want to sell pre-orders, right? What if you had an email list? All you had to do, for people that love you and adore you, all you had to do is say, I have a new collection coming out. Here's what it is. Here's pictures. Here's a link to order. And guess what? People are going to order, because you can talk directly to them. You're going to get their address. You're going to get their phone numbers. You're going to mail them their stuff. That's the power of email marketing. I knew this, but I didn't pay any attention until now. I paid attention now. If you are an author and you're going to be doing a book signing in Michigan, but you live in Atlanta, right? You might want to say, hey list, hey people, hey tribe, I'm going to be in Detroit on this date. Do you know a place for me to have a book signing? And by the way, would love to see you there if you're in the area. And also bring a few friends and tell a few friends. That's your newsletter. You're talking directly to those people. Now, I can say this on this podcast, but when I look at my stats, I have more viewers in India and Vietnam. Are you going to come to my book signing here in Atlanta? I'm just saying. It's going to be worth the trip for you to cross the sea, to come over here to meet me at a book signing in Lawrenceville. And I don't know if you're coming or not, because guess what? I don't have your email. I can't talk to you. I can talk to you on this microphone, but you can't talk back unless you go over and email me at Good Morning Gwinnett. So this makes it a lot easier when you can talk directly to your people. That's all I'm saying. And Marriott is doing a great job of that. But so are a lot of other people. Whenever you go to somewhere and they say, sign up for this, it's no charge, it's free. Of course it's not free. Yeah, you getting it in your inbox and you didn't have to pay for it, but you had to give up the email. And maybe your name, some people won't even ask your name. They don't care nothing about your name. You see, put your email right here. They don't care if you don't have a name. They want your email. Put your email in the box below to receive this free whatever it is. I was on TikTok driving back, and there was a thing about, it was something about health. Like, I'm always trying to get better with my health because I suck. And I need to stop saying that. I'm excellent with my health. I'm always trying to get better with that, making sure that I'm good. So there was a thing about this health thing, right? Asked me all these questions, and they asked me for my email first. Before I answered any question, put your email in here. Put the email in. Here's the thing. I wanted the information. Put in all my email. Then they asked me all these questions, did all that stuff. And at the very end, it was like, now, if you want this report, I thought I was getting a report for free. Go on, pay for it, because you said you really invested in your health. Pay for this report. But guess what? I was like, I'm not paying for that, because I don't know if that's true. But guess what? I got a bunch of emails. Hey, don't forget to pay for your report. We know that you need. Here's what part of your report said. To get the full report, this is what they do, and that's a good thing. I'm not knocking it, because it's a good thing. And it's a great way for you to build that relationship with people. It's a great way for you to market your business. It's a great way for you to create brand awareness. It's a great way for you to drive traffic back to your website. Like in my newsletter, in the chamber newsletter, I don't have a lot of links, right? I have links to my partners. So anybody that's supporting the chamber, there's a link back to their website along with their logos, because they're supporting me. And so the reason I do that is to show them, hey, I appreciate your support with the Gwinnett Women's Chamber. So by doing that, your logo is in front of my list every Monday at 6 a.m. I have to do that because they support me. I have to support them. So there's a link inside the newsletter along with their logo back to their website. That's driving traffic. So people who may not have even heard of my partners, now they know about them because that link is inside of my newsletter, right? So you can use your newsletter to drive traffic back to your website. Of course, you can use it to generate leads because that's what most people use it for, to generate leads. There's a pop-up and say, hey, before you go, leave your name and email. And it goes into a database like a MailChimp or a Constant Contact. I use Brevo and I use Beehive. So it's going to go to either one of those and it's going to stay there. And then when you get real savvy, you can segment it by wherever the pop-up was on whatever page, all of that kind of stuff. That's a training by itself. It also can boost sales. I've seen so many people. You know how many things I've gotten in an email because I'm on someone's list and they have something that and they may have marketed to me over and over again, but they just put out something that has piqued my attention and I want it. And because I saw it in an email newsletter and I've been following them for a while and I get their inspiration or their knowledge and wisdom, I'm going to click that link to buy that thing. That's going to boost their sales. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who just clicked the link to buy the thing. Everybody on that list has been marketed to over and over and over again. Now it's time for us to make a stand, to get off the pot, right? That's pretty much what they're saying. And you click the list, guess what that do? That boosts sales. And it also boosts customer loyalty. Like if you could say, give shout outs to your customers. One of my clients, she was saying I created an app for her. And she wanted to have a loyalty board, wasn't a loyalty. It was like a shout out board to her members, right? She has a member community that she's building, and she wanted to have a shout out board inside of her mobile app so she can go in there and shout out to the members. I thought that was pretty darn good, right? I thought that was great. So she did that, but guess what that does? That builds loyalty. That builds loyalty from the people that come and pay their money to you every month. So I got a full-blown article on the website for more information about, especially if you're just starting out. If you're just starting out into business and you want to leverage email marketing for your business, this is a great read for you. So go to Gwinnett, Good Morning Gwinnett after the show, goodmorninggwinnett.com. You'll see the article there. It's on the business. And it's a long article. Like the article is long, y'all. But I just felt like this was a great segment for me to get into today because I looked at what Weston was doing. I'm like, okay, I get it. Get on our list and you don't got to pay for internet. Now they're going to pay for internet whether or not you get on the list or not, but you don't have to pay for internet if you get on the list. Now, are they going to market to you over and over again? Was it worth the $20 that you saved for them to get you to come and spend $200 a night? Was it? I'm just asking the question. I think I said 200 and something a night. And I know for some people that's not a lot, Audrey. Yeah, it's a lot. And maybe I'm just limited in my thinking, but I'm like, what? $200 a night? No free parking, no free food, no free internet. What? What am I paying for? This bed? Okay, I like the bed. All right, but anyway, give me about 15 minutes, and then I want you to go and check out the article on the website, goodmorninggwinnett.com. Go check it out. It's a full-blown article there, and you'll be able to read the article, especially if you're new. It gives you like a blueprint on how to get started with email marketing. Now, you have to pick your platform. I started out using Constant Contact a long time ago, did not understand the value of the platform, and then realized that, you know what, I'm doing the right thing. I didn't know because nobody was Constant Contact wasn't really talking about it like that. They was like, yeah, son, get our software. If they would have been like, Audrey, this is why you need this software because you can talk directly to these people all the time. They weren't saying that. So I didn't know. So I was like, you know what, this, I'm paying $55 a month for this. And I was paying $55 a month at the time. Like, get rid of this. I'm not paying this anymore. I don't see how it's bringing me value. And I got rid of my whole entire list, which was close to 4,000 people, which was a lot back then. And then I had to start all over with MailChimp. And then I'm like, same thing, get to them, like not understanding the value of a list, did not understand the value of a list. I did not. And then I scrapped that and I had over 2,000 names on that list. Now I have almost 4,000 names. I'm like, yeah, won't be scrapping these. We're not. So I don't want you to do the same. Don't make the same mistakes I made by not taking advantage of an email newsletter because you can email market all day long and just do nothing but that. If you got, like, speaking of that, I have a course, right? I have a course that's coming out and it's going to be in, I had it set for September, but now it's going to be in October because I got too much on my plate. I'm just being honest. Got too much on my plate. Need to push it back to October. It's called Main Street Media Academy. Main Street Media Academy. is it .com? I think it's .com. Main Street Media Academy. I think it's .com. Anyway, that's my school, right? So I was like, okay, I need to market this in my newsletter. Now I know that some people are going to look at the newsletter and they are not going to pay any attention. But then they may pay attention this one particular day. They may pay it some attention and it was like, okay, you know what? I need to take that class. So in every issue of my newsletter, Gwinnett Morning Spark, there's a little banner about my academy. There's a little bitty banner right there about the academy. Why? Because I need people to take my academy. So I put it there. I put it there for that reason. I put it there because I needed them to take advantage of the academy. I wanted to make sure I'm marketing it on a regular basis. I wanted to make sure that, they could find it. So I put it in the newsletter, and that's what you can do. Now the class is not cheap. It's not cheap at all. So when people look at it, they may say, "Ooh, this class is not cheap." Here's the thing, though. It wasn't meant to be cheap. It wasn't meant to be cheap. It was meant to help you start a media business. And so just like Marriott, they're not known to be cheap. They're known to be like upper crust, the best hotels. So when I went to the Westin, the stay was beautiful. So it wasn't meant to be cheap. It was meant for people who really want to start a business in media, right? Email marketing, podcasting, video channels, Amazon channels, Amazon Fire TV channel, Roku channel. That's what it was meant for. It was meant for that person who's serious about, starting a media business. I've been in media for 24 years. I think it's 25 now. I forget. I've lost track. But I've been in here for a long time, publishing newspaper, having TV shows, having radio shows, podcasts, on traditional radio, on traditional TV, published a newspaper. I was an editor of it. I've been in media a long time. And it's crazy when I say that. I can't believe how long I've been in it. Did my first newsletter in 1997, I think it was, or 94. Even when it wasn't popular, I had control over the list. And at that time, it was literally, I had to stick a stamp on the newsletter and mail it out. But guess what? I had subscribers. Did not know the power of what I had. Did not know. Now I know. So when you know better, you do better. But anyway, I put my Main Street Media Academy, it's mainstreetmediaacademy.biz in the newsletter. And I put it in the newsletter. It goes out every day. So when that newsletter go out 5 times a day, my message is in that newsletter. And preferably somebody's going to say, you know what, let me take this class. Now I'm going to start putting a video in there. A link to a video why they should take the class. Like right now I just got a banner. Now I'm going to put a video. Thinking about starting your own media business? Watch this video. That's next. But it's in the newsletter that goes out 5 days a week to over 400 people. So just wanted to share that with you. All right, I'm going to go to my last song. It's called Bounce Back Now. And I'll be back to give you my words of inspiration for the day. So stay tuned.
Got knocked down on a Monday. Felt like the world's heavyweight. But I got that fire, can quench my desire tonight. I'm stepping out the gate. Turn up, beat up, feel the heat. Yeah, shake off the dust, get on your feet. No looking back, no time to slack. Tonight we're on the comeback track. Bounce back, hit the floor. Feel the rhythm, ask for more. Turn it up, break the stack. Be resilient just like that. Bounce back.
Welcome back. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. But before I go, I want to give you my words of inspiration. And here it goes. It says, if you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you will never get it done. Ooh, let me say that again. If you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you will never get it done. Bruce Lee said that, and he was right. There's somebody right now listening to this show contemplating, should they believe what I say? Maybe they need to do some more research. Maybe email marketing is there. Email marketing is so alive right now, and you are missing the boat. And you are going to miss the boat because you don't own nothing when you're on Facebook. You don't own nothing when you're on Instagram, TikTok. We don't even know if TikTok going to be in the United States. I know, get it while you can. I get that. But why put in all that energy for something that could just fade away? You own your list. So stop overthinking it. Stop spending so much time thinking about a thing and get going. Get started. I applaud you if you started anything. If you started a podcast, if you started a video channel, if you started a blog, if you started a magazine, if you got a TikTok channel, if you got an Instagram channel, if you got a fan base channel, whatever I applaud you for doing that. But keep going. Keep going and know that you're not thinking, you're doing. If you're sitting on the fence right now thinking about something, you need to ask yourself if that's something you really want to do. Stop thinking about it. Get going. I don't care how ugly it is. Just start. You know how many times I start ugly every day? Sometimes I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I have no idea. I don't know what's going on in the news, but guess what? I start anyway. And I grow my wings on the way down every day. Not once a day, pretty much. Even when I look at my calendar, my appointments are on my calendar, all the things I have to do on the calendar. There's something in my day that I have to grow my wings on my way down every day. Something. Things that I may not have even thought about come up, and I have to deal with it. I can't just sweep it under the rug, and I have to grow my wings on the way down every day. So, that being said, stop thinking and get to doing. Hey, hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the show. If you missed any episodes, please go to goodmorninggwinnett.com to listen to past episodes there. And sure, connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter at Good Morning Gwinnett. All right, I'll be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m., God willing. Hey, by the way, do me a favor. Go on over to Gwinnett Morning Spark and subscribe to the newsletter there, GwinnettMorningspark.com. And if you want to start your own media business, I'll take you through the steps. Go to MainStreetMediaAcademy.biz. 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 All right, classes are going to start in October, not September. I have to update the website. I have not done that yet. So classes will start October, run for 6 consecutive Sundays. And so you'll get a chance to learn from me all my ups, my downs, the things that are working and things aren't working, and things that I've learned and things that I had to unlearn. You're going to get it all. And it's live. It's not a recording. It's media live, so you can ask a question in real life. In real life, you can. All right. I'll be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. God willing. You guys stay safe out there. Stay out of that heat because it's hot. And until next time, my friends, make it a great day. Bye, y'all.
You've been listening to Good Morning Gwinnett. Make sure to tune in Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time to find out what's happening around Gwinnett. If you like this episode, subscribe now and share with your friends. To learn more about Noise Media Network, visit noisemedia.us.